Hi, I'm Bowling Otter.
And I'm Lucy Sandwich.
And welcome to
the BS on the Internet.
Well, it's been another one of those weeks.
Oh my gosh. It has. And I always
this time,
say that.
too.
Guys,
you know, it was one of those weeks last week, and I thought there's no way it could happen this many times in a row.
But this week stressed me out, YouTube-wise, and I'll tell you why.
YouTube-wise?
Because we put up a Mortal Kombat 11 video of fatalities.
Yeah.
And you guys, like, it has a lot of views for this channel.
Yeah.
And
one of our
me to
maybe
death.
the fastest we ever got views on any video.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Usually,
I don't know where it's going to top off right now.
We have some lifetime views of videos that have gone
really
up
took a long time and eventually got pretty high. But but this was probably the most views we got in like the 12-hour, 24-hour department.
Like right now, it's at 187K, and that was a day ago.
And that's less than 48 hours ago.
And that is really stressing me out. Like, I don't even want to go in there.
Lucy doesn't know how to handle it.
I don't, because he's like, hey, like, this is really good. And you kept, like, updating me as the day was going on. He's like, hey.
I didn't know it was
like
giving you agita.
It's like, it's at
giving you anxiety.
And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, oh, no. Not like that. It's not bad. It's awesome. Like, it's really, really cool. But I get, like.
It's pretty exciting.
I don't know.
You know?
It makes me nervous. Like, I'm so used to, like, things being a certain way, I guess.
Yeah.
And just kind of like.
We did kind of hit like a plateau, right?
Yeah.
Where we had like a lot of growth for a while, and then basically we had a kid. And and it plateaued, and we kind of just did that for a while, and sometimes do like this, but basically it went slower. So like, and we got used to that, kind of got lulled into it.
Yeah.
I think over the last couple of years, it was like, this is just what we do.
Yeah.
Really don't have to change it. This is about how many views a video gets, and then what happens like that? It's like, I don't know how to navigate this anymore. Like, it's been a while.
I know. And like, I'm so scared of the comments. Like, I don't even want to go in there.
It's
fine. Supposedly, all it is, it's the regular, like, none of this scares me.
Yeah, a lot of that. A lot of like, I don't know why you guys get scared.
I know. And
this
a lot
doesn't bother
of fake reactions. Like, they think
a lot of people say that we're faking it.
But you know what? You know how much easier my life would be if it was a faked reaction? And that, because that would mean that I am completely desensitized to it, number one.
Yes.
And then I would have to have the acting prowess to, in the moment, like, fake a reaction.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm capable of that.
Let's see, like,
I can't even watch these videos back.
That's what I'm saying. I have to tell you guys, from where I'm sitting, I'm doing some editing, right? And I'm looking through some footage to make sure everything's ready to go. And Lissy's down here a lot while I'm doing editing. And I'll just get to like those scenes, and she'll like catch a glimpse of me, like, oh my God. Like,
I can't do it.
She won't watch it. So it's not even just when we're recording, guys. Like,
I can't.
In fact, most of you guys know it. This would probably told the story. Where the first time we did the first Mortal Kombat Fatalities reaction video, the first one we did, like, we did a first look at the game first, right?
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to play the heck out of it on my own.
Yeah.
And I was playing it. Just, we weren't recording.
We didn't know we were really doing YouTube anyway.
Yeah, we were still kind of learning what we were doing with this. Like, so I'm like, I'm just going to play Mortal Kombat for fuck's sake. I love Mortal Kombat. And I'm doing some fatalities, and Lissy is next to me getting audibly grossed out. I mean, and like, she's like losing her damn mind. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm kind of like, listen, if this is really the way this is, then we kind of have to record this.
Oh, God,
so we decided to be like, hey, let's see what happens when Lissy watches fatalities, and the rest is history. But anyway, we do have people coming in and just kind of be like, you guys are so, like, a lot of people. You guys are so fake. And it's just like, at this point, whatever. I mean, our regulars, you guys that are always here, you went to that video too, and you commented, and I saw your comments, and I'm so glad you're there. And honestly, everything else is just whatever.
Yes.
Right? You know?
Like, amazing. And there's always people, you know what I'm kind of becoming interested in? The people who, and I love YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube as well. And so do you.
We're definitely, into YouTube.
I am so interested in the person who will go and give a thumbs down on a video just because. Like, we have one or two people anyway that every time, within the first 15 minutes, down.
Yeah, is there one on Resident Evil 2 yet?
Oh, let's see.
We just posted this video.
We just put it up 6 minutes ago.
No,
they're not here yet.
They're not. They haven't found this video yet.
But I know. But I'm always like, what kind of, like, what is their mind like? What is their, like, there was one that I saw where, oh God, I was looking at Simone Yurts. I hope I'm saying her name correctly.
Yetz, I think,
she
right?
does the
Simone
robot. Yetz?
I think it's Yetz.
Oh gosh.
I could totally be
I'm
wrong.
so sorry if I'm
remember we had
butchering
this question before.
I know. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering it. But I was watching one of her videos, and she had a brain tumor, and she was giving an update, and people gave a thumbs down.
to
on
her
a
giving an
brain
update about a
tumor.
brain tumor. I
Her
know.
brain
Hey,
tumor update.
you can't please everybody.
Yeah, not that I'm comparing our experience to her experience in any way.
We're just watching some fatalities.
But I'm like, wow, like who would? And sometimes there's a comment, and on other videos like that, sometimes it'll be somebody having their baby, bringing their baby home from the hospital. Thumbs down, And I'm so interested in the headspace or the mind space of somebody.
Yeah, but that's the problem. You need to stop being interested in that person.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm
not taking it personal.
Yeah.
I just really want to know, like, what is your life like? What is your impetus? What is your reason
But you are a
for doing
therapist,
this?
Leslie.
Well,
I'm not a therapist.
That has nothing to do with it.
I think it has a lot to do with it because you want to know how people think and how people operate.
Yeah, I'm really
like
curious.
on very basic fundamental levels, and I get it. You're very interested in it. Every time we're watching a TV show, usually has something to do with somebody that thinks about something in a unique way, and you are like super interested in the way they think about things. That you approach a lot of situations like that, and you take it to YouTube for sure, you take it to comments a lot too, and commenters sometimes too. Like you're really into whoever is saying that, and like why they would be saying that, and like I feel like you'll go down this rabbit hole about trying to figure this out.
This is deep.
But I think sometimes with comments, you just kind of gotta like.
Yeah, and
skip them.
I
mean,
totally
like, there's
agree.
especially
that's
when
why
like
I'm not going in there.
Yeah,
I'm really
because you have
going.
to be blind to the stuff that like the person that says that stuff on these videos says it to every video they watch on every channel they watch.
And
so it's like you just gotta skip it. You know?
And sometimes I'm thinking like maybe they just don't like the people or the person,
and they might not.
And then so they'll take the time to go to every video and give it a thumbs down.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, okay, that's a real commitment to hatred, I suppose. That's a real commitment to come in every one of our videos and do a thumbs down within the first couple of minutes or whatever it is. But I'm just so curious, and please don't go in, because sometimes I'll say I don't want to know about the comments, and some of you will be like, oh, it's just everybody saying you're annoying and you suck and you're the most annoying person that they've ever heard in their life and they hate your voice. And I'm like, well, thanks for not telling me what was in there. I just said I didn't want to know. But regardless, I'm really curious to see what kind of person that is that would go into a video just to thumbs down, just because, or not even to watch. I don't think I've ever thumbs down a video in my life.
There's this barrier, right?
Yeah.
Where that like you start like not really thinking about the person that you're watching.
Yeah.
As being a person.
Yeah.
Apart from whatever you see them as on the channel.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. And the more views there are, the more that is compounded. The more subscribers, the more views, the more it's like you're not actually a real person.
Yeah.
You're just this video.
Distance. Yeah.
And that's true that goes way beyond YouTube. That's true for like, people who are in movies, people who make music.
Yeah.
There are some people on YouTube that rival that level of celebrity now.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right? So it's like the people go to these other people and are just like, I can say whatever I want. They probably won't even see it.
Yeah.
They probably you just don't even think about what it would be like to sit and go through your comments. Like, let me see my comments and read one that says that, I
know.
And you have to, the people that are in the situations though, you have to get numb to it, or it drives you crazy, because it does drive some people crazy.
Yeah, it does.
There's some people that can never get used to it. They can never adjust to it.
Yeah.
And it eats them alive.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who can like just kind of let it go and just move on. And like,
I don't
you have to go
can't
into
not get to somebody.
No, I mean, but
that's why I'm choosing to not look.
Yeah, but to some degree, you do have to be like, there's people that will say that every time.
Yeah.
And there's this subset of people that are going to show up every time.
Right.
And they're going to say something every time. Mm-hmm. Either because they don't, either because they think they're shouting into the void, or to specifically get a reaction.
Yeah.
And then they move on,
Yeah, see,
and it's
that's
like
the kind of person that I'm interested in.
And they don't ever come back. They never comment twice. Like they just leave it and go.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I know.
They're not even there anymore by the time you get to the comment.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just like I
know. I just like I worry about people like that.
Yeah, but especially
really
when we have we're very lucky to have such a crazy positive ratio.
Oh my God,
to comments and reactions on our videos.
Unreal.
Because I see stuff all the time, even channels that we love watching, and people get like 70-65% ratios, and it's just like, oof, wow, that one didn't go very well, did it?
Yeah.
And then like I feel bad for them, and like But then I go to ours and it's like, wow, we're like 90 and north on pretty much everything, with like rare exceptions here and there. Yeah. And like we're just super lucky on that. And
I know.
So I just it's just so important to. That's the important part.
Such a nice group of people.
Yeah, and that's
like really those of you who have been here for a while. How amazing is everybody here? Like really,
I always
and
hear
I'm not
from you
just
guys.
saying that.
That's
I know
the thing.
everybody says that.
And then
you
people
guys
show up in
just,
Twitch.
Oh my god!
And it would be like, wow, everybody here is so cool. Everyone here is so welcome. We hear that from new people all the time.
Yeah,
so that's all you guys. We just show up here and do this stuff. You guys are the ones that made the community as good as it is. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah,
and that's why we can enjoy stuff like that.
Wow, we didn't even start yet.
No, we didn't even start yet. We're already freaking 11 minutes in.
But the point is that I'm nervous. That was the whole point of me saying any of this. But yeah, nervous. Okay, a horrible segue to go to today is we're recording this on Friday evening. And as of this morning over in New Zealand, there were 49 people killed in a mass shooting at 2 mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, which I have, not like this should have anything to do with it, but I have only heard amazing things about New Zealand. And if any of you are from New Zealand, please put in the comments your thoughts, because it's clearly on my bucket list of places to visit.
Totally.
It is unbelievably beautiful. Yeah. And just like, I feel so, like I tweeted about this morning. And I started to read this article on this, and I had to stop. I usually read all of the articles. Both of us read all of the articles when we talk about these things on here. And I just stopped about halfway through because they said young children with guns were shot as well. They're describing the guy as a right-wing extremist. He wrote this long manifesto. And, there's this numbness that has just fallen over me completely with these shootings in these large numbers like this. And it's so, I can't even wrap my head around it, that there's so many shootings anyway. You hear about 3 people here, 5 people here, 6 people here, and then you have one of these mass shootings that happen. And it's just like this, oh gosh, there's another one, and you kind of like spend some time thinking about it. And there's a lot of mudslinging going on with this one in particular.
Yeah, there is.
There's, people are just talking about we need to talk about white extremism. I don't want to get too political on here. We kind of keep it a little bit surface level, but I'm seeing a lot of blame going around, more so than some of the other ones, I think.
Yeah, well, it's because of the manifesto, right? Basically.
Multiple pages, 20-some pages.
20. I thought it was more than that even.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I thought so. It's not really being shared around online.
No.
Which is good, because you don't need to make this do
87
pages. Yeah.
Jesus.
So, but basically, long and short of it seemed to be that it was kind of crafted particularly to go viral in this kind of social situation.
Yeah.
Especially by the names that were called out in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he kept saying people who were like his inspirations and stuff like that, are people who didn't understand what happened. Like, you see this like Candace Owens and stuff like that. Then like and PewDiePie was a big one. They said he said sub to PewDiePie in a video they were taking. They recorded it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said sub to PewDiePie.
He live streamed it on Facebook. And then of course there's some people, like I'm on Twitter and I'm seeing like, look, I have the video. I'm not going to post it because I have a heart. But if you want to see it, DM me your email. My DMs are open. I'll send it to you. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, stop spreading
There's
it.
so much, like, it goes back to what I was saying earlier.
Famous.
Yeah, but even like, there's always somebody who will want to do something like that. Like I'm saying, like, why would anybody do whatever? Like, why would anybody be like, I'll go share it around, like I'll be that guy.
That's just simple, good old
providing
fashioned
a service.
Yeah, that's good old fashioned. I have something you don't have. That's all that is. There's nothing more to read into that.
Yeah.
Like, for a second you feel important, like people are asking you for something.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. But I saw a lot of YouTube hate and PewDiePie hate this morning.
Yes.
That I was, I was surprised and not surprised.
Yeah,
I guess.
it was a little of that.
I know. I was kind of like, oh gosh, there were some people that were saying, some lawmakers in other countries saying that YouTube needs to halt all uploads onto the site completely.
That's just, you can't,
until we figure out what's going on. It can only be said by someone who
doesn't understand social media and YouTube as a platform.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like saying that, like, some network channel airs something they weren't supposed to air, and you need to take them totally off the air now.
Yeah.
Or I guess somebody said something live that they couldn't control. Or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. I mean, YouTube is a platform, right?
Right.
Yeah,
But we're also in a cancel culture.
100%.
And a lot of people are very anxious. And I'm always I always flip-flop on the cancel culture. It's so
it's not my thing.
it's so case specific. I really think it depends on
it does depend,
on
but
what happens.
I find myself most of the
said,
time when I see this kind of reaction, it almost always seems hasty and early and based on gut initial first reactions and not actually any observing and learning about the situation.
I think the person who's
So often
responding
yes
makes that will make up my mind.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
if they say like we're getting off the subject, but look, if I said something that offended somebody back then, I get it, I grew, I blah blah blah, I'm a better person. If you see my behavior since then, I haven't. Then somebody I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
But if somebody says something and it's clear that they're the same person, this Tucker Carlson thing happened this week, where they're just, it looks like there's no remorse or anything like that. Then I'm kind of like,
Yeah, but I just don't see the whole cancel culture thing as beneficial to people and culture as a whole.
Oh, that's true.
Because I think what it does a lot of the time is then the people that back the person being canceled, now he's a martyr. And all you've done is given them a reason to dig their heels in.
true.
It doesn't do any good.
Yeah,
It's a really bad way to communicate change, I think. And
that's a good point.
It's not reasonable, it's not measured, and it's loud and noisy and boisterous, and just you get in this the people that you are then accusing go into fight or flight, and the people that share something with them that some sort of preference or same line of thinking to where they feel attacked then by the fact you're attacking them, they go into fight or flight, and then everybody bands together, these nice little tribes.
Well, also with it's funny that you said fight or flight, because I know that's like a phrase, but just interesting. But there's also the actually.
Oh my God.
It's fight or flight or freeze.
Oh.
And I freeze.
Oh, interesting.
As far as a psychological tactic.
Yeah.
Fight or flight or freeze. I'm a freezer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're more, I don't want to say you're more of a flight. You're kind of let me see how it pans out. Maybe it is, that's not fighting. You kind of just wait to see what happens. I just go, I can't make up my mind. I don't know.
I just try to be as
and I kind of just
because fight or flight or freeze. I mean, that's supposed to be all amigdala anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to avoid that and go frontal lobe as soon as I can. And be like, hold on, let's think about this. Let's take a deep breath. What's the logic behind this? And the thing is that a lot of the causes that I agree with, a lot of these causes that these cancel culture, I guess, would come up. The things they're saying. I'm like, yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is totally not the way to have this conversation.
I know.
And so I can't pile in. I can't jump on because I sit back, and then too often I sit back and 2 days later, it's whoa, this isn't what everybody thought it was now. And now everybody's apologizing for the things they said 2 days ago, and then people getting mad at them for apologizing. Then some people getting mad at them for not apologizing. And it's just gets worse. It's boy, am I glad I didn't touch this.
Yeah.
Because now I have no idea where it's going.
Yeah.
And if you didn't pick a side right away, then and I don't know, and then people talk about, say, you're fence riding, or that you're not helping the cause, and that you're back and watching it happen. And it's I'm just trying to make sure that if I say something or if I take a stance, it's from an educated place, and then I feel comfortable with that stance.
Yeah, you don't want to think it out.
Yes.
On social media, which was, and there was a lot of that happening today. I saw a lot of people blaming PewDiePie, blaming YouTube, blaming Trump, blaming white extremists or supremacists. A lot of people blaming Muslims, a lot of people blaming Jews.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, a lot of people logged off for the day. Yeah. Just said, I stayed off Twitter a lot today.
Yeah, it was noisy.
Much more so.
It was so noisy.
Really noisy.
Yeah.
And when you were saying it's not the time to have the conversation.
Yeah.
I felt like this was not the time to have the conversation.
Yeah.
I
feel like you gotta mourn first. And I hate to do the whole that's the whole
you
don't make it political or don't it's too soon, that whole thing,
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that things need to be said right away, right? I just don't think that the social media assaults, because and then the problem is that with this cancel culture machine, in a week or two, people are gonna move on to something else too. As sad as that is, 49 people killed here. And a total tragedy that does need to be talked about.
Yeah.
And we do need to work through this as a culture, not just as Americans, clearly not just as Americans.
Yeah.
This is a worldwide culture issue we're having right now. And it's spreading
level
and getting worse.
well.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And we do need to have conversations about this. I just think they need to be measured, reasonable conversations.
Not these knee-jerk.
Not
it
these
just
knee-jerk.
happened. Who do we
screaming,
blame? Who do we
just
point
the
a finger?
yelling, and that's all we're doing is just getting up there. Everybody's got to have a Twitter thread. Everybody's got to have retweet that Twitter thread and tell everyone else to read that Twitter thread. And everyone's got to post things in caps, and then you have trolls jumping in each other's threads, and then it's just like, oh God. And at the end of the day, it's like this was a complete stalemate of noise, and everybody is now worse because of it.
Yeah.
I just feel like nothing constructive can come of that.
I know.
I don't know what else there is to do, though. This is people.
It just muddies your mind. It muddies your opinion. It muddies your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Because then...
You have to be able to talk to somebody who disagrees with you and not fight about it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, though.
A lot of people can't do that.
That's ultimately, you have to know that there's people that disagree with you that are always going to disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
And, even if you can't find any common ground, you just admit that and move on.
Yeah, and just say, look, we're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And just don't escalate it like crazy.
I try.
We're getting so deep into
I
this.
know. I try really, really hard to not engage. I really don't. You will engage more than I will.
Sometimes.
We engage. We talk a lot about this kind of stuff when we're not on the channel, just like amongst each other. And we kind of like talk it out on our own.
Yeah.
And kind of like form an opinion or whatever. But we really don't go to social media with it or anything like that.
No, usually don't.
But like I'm starting to get, and I've been at this point, like really just like fed up with all of it. I feel like I'm holding it. Yeah. There's so much going on, and I have so many strong opinions. I've always been really interested in news and things that's going on. And ever since I turned 18 and I could vote and everything, I've always been like really, really into it. I still don't want to isolate anybody, so I'm trying to, be as nice as I can about it and just talk it out with you. But it's starting to bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still not a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is taking that kind of thing to social media is just a powder keg. It just too often doesn't go well for no apparent stupid reason.
Yeah, and I don't need that kind of
And if I'm ever like, if you say like I'll engage sometimes, and I will engage sometimes, but I really try to just be like, as calm and collect as I can about it.
You're never like you're a butt nut.
No, never going at anybody personally.
Yeah.
Like you just can't do that. Nothing will ever be solved.
I know.
It's a lot of shouting and no minds changing.
I know.
On both sides, and
it's become a horrible reality of these tragedies that have inevitably, I can't talk today, been happening, where it's like horrible tragedy and then social media mess.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It's mentally exhausting.
And this is just terrific, and the details of it are horrific.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to even process, and I hate that I almost am feeling kind of numb to it.
Well, how do you feel? This is a hot button topic.
Uh-oh.
What's Lissy's take on this? How do you feel about the PewDiePie thing? Him getting roped into this?
I feel
because that's become a pretty big item,
See,
on social media.
I get why, but I feel what I was seeing going around was his whole war going on with T-Series and that whole thing is because he's trying to stifle the Indian culture. Where
it was about Bollywood.
It was about Bollywood.
Yeah.
Now, I've understood the whole, PewDiePie versus T-Series as like the one-man show YouTuber against the corporation.
The independent creator.
The independent creator, exactly, up against a corporation.
Yes, a corporation with financial backers and investors.
Right. So that really rubbed me the wrong way, that people were using his past to kind of like, as a springboard to kind of say, oh, and he's also doing this thing.
Yeah.
He's trying to, he doesn't like Indian culture, doesn't like Bollywood.
There's a lot of people that beautiful mind the heck out of this, right? They'd be like, well, this connects this to this, this, now this, and it's just like, Occam's razor, this is way simpler than that. This is just
true.
like,
well,
I don't know.
he's the symbol for YouTube.
Yes, he is. Well, because he's the most popular YouTuber ever.
So everybody, they want to pin a lot on him. I feel like he's a scapegoat for a lot. Did he say some really dumb things and do some really dumb stuff? Yeah. I think he probably... I think he probably feels like an idiot in a lot of ways that he said these things and was like, oh man, like that was not a good idea. Mm-hmm. And even in one of his other clips when he said what he said, he knew immediately.
Yeah.
I think he said the N-word, and he went
Yeah.
like, "Oh no."
Yeah, I mean, like that was
You
bad.
know,
That was personally
I
for
was
me the
like,
most egregious thing that
ooh.
happened with him.
Yeah.
Because I remembered like there was the whole Fiverr thing.
Oh, right.
Which was just edgelord. I mean, like
You
I
think it
didn't-
was edgelord?
It was just totally edgelord. It was just like I'm gonna pick something really offensive and see if he's gonna say it. So he was coming
Yeah.
at it from an angle where he knew what the phrase was extremely offensive and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of communicates to what his opinion of it is.
Right.
He let it out there anyway. But he was somebody who, in my personal opinion, like we mentioned this in private, but like Ninja, right? He's like he's ridiculously popular Twitch streamer, right? And he was very popular before that, but then he got this thing, he completely exploded with Fortnite, Twitch Prime, Drake, that whole thing happened, and he got way too, like, super huge, super fast. And before that, he would like curse a lot. He would like get really upset, really emotional, and make like some offensive jokes here and there. And then he realized as soon as he got really popular, and everybody says he got boring because of this.
Yeah.
That he's like, never mind, I can't do that anymore. Now there's too many kids watching.
Yeah.
And like my audience has changed, and I need to be like family friendly and not have cursing
And adjust.
and adjust to this. And so a lot of people like jumped ship because of that, but I don't feel like he had much of a choice based on how big he got personally.
Yeah.
And then PewDiePie's the guy who like never did
resisted
that.
it.
He was basically like,
yeah.
I don't care how popular I get, I'm gonna be the same exact guy, I'm gonna say the same exact stuff, I'm gonna be the same exact way. And that unfortunately is what happened. That's what the result of that is.
Yeah.
People started seeing this stuff that he was doing before.
Yeah.
But now there's too many people watching it, so now suddenly you have enough of a subset of people who are going to be very offended by it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's cancel PewDiePie.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of ended up leading directly to this even.
Yeah.
That whole thing, all the string of events that he's had happen with him, now he's being shouldered with this because of this sub to PewDiePie meme.
I know.
And he even said, I think a couple weeks ago, or like it was sometime, I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago, but sometime relatively recently, where he had already said that he felt like this sub to PewDiePie meme has already gone like too far.
Yeah.
He's like, we're taking this too far. It's getting a little ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So it's like, and he wouldn't have dreamed, I'm sure, that this is how it would be used also. But and I guess
I wouldn't wish that on
obvious.
anybody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody, whether, I agree with what they've said or not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, oh my gosh. I can't even imagine having that on my conscience.
Yeah.
That somebody said my name.
No, I wouldn't.
During
I
a
don't know
mass
what I would do with
shooting.
that.
Like I just, oh my God. Like I couldn't. So, I mean, I can't even empathize. I don't know. I feel like it's got to cool down. Well, I mean, by the time this goes up, it will have been a couple of days.
Maybe it will cool
will
down.
probably have blown over. We're
Yeah.
like in the middle of it right now. It's all over Twitter. So I
This has
don't
happened
know.
within the
I'm
last 24
curious
hours,
to
so.
see, and I know you guys will be lovely in the comments because really you always are. Does that sound sarcastic? It really wasn't sarcastic. But I'm curious to see what you think about, I mean, where you stand on it. Do you feel like now is the time to start bringing these things up, to start blaming, to start saying, look what you did, look what you, because I've done that on my own and said like, oh God, like this is because of XYZ, duh, but still, is that knee-jerk reaction a good thing? Is it a good thing to air out in public
There's
on social
usually
media?
more to it than that. It's usually not like so much like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, there's always nuance to it in some way, and you got to allow yourself to remain open to receive that nuance as it goes. Like, it's so easy to make up your mind really fast, and then be done hearing opinions on it, be done hearing information on it right back. It's like you gotta still be open to hearing things. You can disagree about them right away, but hear them first. I don't know, but this is just freaking terrible.
It is.
And it sucks to see the blame throwing around because I don't think that it's anything it's being thrown at, nearly anything is being thrown at is actually a valid reason for this to happen. But all right.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Moving on.
We have to move on.
Okay, I have been fascinated with this topic all heckin' week because a bunch of wealthy people have been charged in a U.S. college entry fraud, where what they have done is paid exorbitant amounts of money, sometimes millions of dollars, in bribes to get their child into an Ivy League school. So, and it's so funny because you were at work and we were on the phone and I said, oh my gosh, guess what just happened? And I told you that and you were like, well, duh. Like, of course we know there's bribes going on.
Yeah, we've
And it was like,
known
but
this.
now people are getting
It's kind of been
it's
like
something that everybody
an unspoken
knew.
thing. Everybody knew this was happening.
Yeah. But we didn't know how deep it went. So like, what happened? was there was this guy this businessman who was getting charged with stock fraud of some kind. And I forget, there was some kind of a pump and dump. It's called pump and dump stocks, right? So where you do something and manipulate the stock so it looks like the price is going to go up and then you sell and then whatever, or it's going to drop anyway. But he said like, hey, in exchange for leniency, I will expose this whole thing going on at these Ivy League schools. So what's happening is parents were either paying people to manipulate their kids' test scores, SAT scores or whatever. So like there's an example in here of they would have somebody proctor an exam who would take the kids' test and then change the answers. So they had a certain test on their SATs or whatever. Or they would make it seem like the student, was an athletic recruit. And they were like this soccer star and Yale wanted them. So the parent would throw $500,000 to an athletic director or something like that. And then they would, and even in this article, because the whole question that has been looming over my head this entire time, and I finally found out the answer when I was just reading this, is did the kids know that their parents were manipulating it? And they said overall, no. The kids did not know that their parents were paying people off to get them into these Ivy League schools. But in the case of the athletes, sometimes they would ask the kids to pose for pictures with like a soccer ball or in a boat because they're on crew and they're amazing, or water polo and they'd be in the pool like this, and then send them off to the school and be like, look at this water polo star, like he's amazing or she's amazing. And then, so in that regard, a lot of times the kid knew. A couple of times they said there was a group of parents who said they told the proctor that their child had a learning disability and they needed somebody to sit with them and take the test with them.
Oh my God.
And do it over 2 or 3 days or so. And then change the answers while they were taking the test. So I know, so it's really case by case, but it's USC, it's Yale, it's Harvard, like it's everywhere. But what we were starting to talk about a little bit was, do you think that the kids should be kicked out?
See, that's super dicey because where I'm standing on it is when these decisions were being made and these things were being carried out, these kids were still minors.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can be held responsible at that point for what their parents are doing.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure they're being urged into it hardcore.
Well,
right?
you do kind of what your parents suggest.
Yeah, you kind of go, you got to follow that lead. That's why kids
when you're a minor,
aren't told to be responsible for that, right?
Right.
And I feel like, what if some of these kids, even though they didn't get in fairly, ended up just kicking ass while they're in there?
Yeah,
and they have great
in some
GPAs
cases
and
that has happened.
Yeah, because then that shows that they belong, really.
Right. Or are we going to find out that the parents continued to pay off people in the school for good? Because then they said, with that being said, that a lot of times when they got in, once they got in, like over here it says, like a lot of these kids didn't think that they had, didn't know that they had help, right? So they would think they got a perfect SAT score.
Yep.
And go in there with this sense of confidence, like, wow, I must really be like crazy super smart.
Yeah.
But then the parents also had the money to pay for tutoring, to pay for extra help, to, and also to bribe teachers or proctors or whatever to do what they got to do.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with tutoring and help.
No.
But there is wrong with bribery, right? So
right.
But
that's then that could also be, because of the wealth gap there, that some people can't afford tutoring.
Yeah, but that's a whole different conversation.
It is that if you're wealthy, you could afford for your parents to put money into you to make sure that you graduate.
Yeah, there is, but that's going to exist, right? Because you can't tell somebody who's wealthy that they can't use their money to that advantage.
Yeah.
To tutor your kids. And like, if you want to have your kids do well, you do what you can for your kids, right? If you have that kind of money, you invest it in that.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't really knock people for that. I feel like the problem here is just straight bribery.
Yeah.
Just straight up bribery. If they like got their kids to like and worked with them and had them learn and they actually performed well, more power to you.
Right.
You pulled it off. Congratulations. That's really hard. no matter what kind of advantages you got.
Yeah.
But then like if this is just like, well, it's not about figuring out and doing well and earning your way in there. It's just about having a lot of money so you get to go to do things now.
Yeah.
Like that's a different situation.
Yeah.
That's what, like things like robbery enable.
Yeah.
That's why they got to do something about it. But I don't know what you do with the students themselves. I
You
really
know
don't.
what is everybody keeps bringing up. So from Full House, Aunt Becky, her daughter they got arrested. Aunt Becky from Full House got arrested. And her husband was among a lot of people who got indicted in this whole thing. And one of her daughters is a YouTuber, Olivia Jade, who I didn't know who she was, but she's like a vlogger and all this stuff. And she had put up a vlog before she started college saying how she really didn't care about school, but she wanted the college experience of like parties and game days and things. She wanted to be part of the culture, but she didn't care about school. And she got called out on her channel for it from her viewers. And she went back and apologized and was like, yeah, I know that sounded really bad or whatever. But it was turning out that her parents had bribed them to her to be in there. And then when this story came out, she was on a yacht of like a benefactor for her college or something that was paying, like it all was like, oh my God, like this is insane. Wow. But you know what? I'm wondering if going back to should they stay in the school, I kind of feel like if I found out that my parents did that, I'd want to leave.
I'd probably want to leave too. I would be humiliated.
I would be humiliated.
I would be like, I need to start over.
Yeah.
I would be humiliated. I wouldn't want to show my face around the other people that I was in school with.
Yeah, because it would be like you don't deserve to be here.
They'd be like, you're a fraud.
Yeah.
And you would have no way of talking yourself out of that. You'd be branded.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be terrible, and I would want to leave.
Yeah.
That's me personally.
Yeah, right? Me too. I don't know about the school kicking them out. I mean, if they're kicking ass, they're kicking ass.
Yeah, but it's weird to think that
I'd
they
be
should be.
curious to see the grades of these kids.
Yeah.
To see if how they're doing.
I don't want to. I would be curious too, but I want to make it as little about the kids as possible.
Oh, totally.
This is definitely about the parents.
Totally, yeah.
And what they did. So, I mean, they deserve to be dragged for this crap. You know, totally. It's just messed up.
I hate like that they took a spot from somebody who deserved to be there.
Yeah.
That is horrible. And so many people worked so hard to get there.
It's like we were saying before, we knew this was happening.
Oh, totally.
We just didn't know to what extent. We didn't know who. We didn't know like how deep it went, how exactly it happened. And now we all of a sudden have like the curtains drawn back.
Yeah.
Now we see how it was all happening.
Right.
Hopefully that just means that this can't happen as much going forward. And that's basically what you can hope for, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Jeez. I don't know. It just, as somebody who had to stop school because it was too expensive.
Like most of the world.
Yes, this just boils my blood because like I would kill to have that spot. You know, not in an Ivy League, not to say that I could get in an Ivy League school, but just any spot.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people who would kill to get in any spot, you know, but for, you know, just be like, and then, you know what else is kind of sad? Like, would it have been terrible for these wealthy people to have a kid who went to community college or didn't go to college?
Well, some do.
Or
some do.
You know,
we're hearing about the ones that don't. That's that is not to say that there's those millionaires that live in everybody's freaking neighborhood.
Oh, that's
that
true.
Nobody knows.
Oh yeah,
and you have no idea how they got their money, and they just live there with everybody else doing that.
That's a good point.
Like, plain old things. There are plenty of people with a lot of money that do that.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that don't.
Yeah.
You know? But it's not. This is not a like. They're not. I don't believe that like we're dealing with like a species of person here.
Yeah,
you know?
I just feel like with Aunt Becky, say, Lori Loughlin.
Lori Loughlin.
Laughlin, is that how you say her name?
Yeah,
Laughlin?
I think so.
In her case, though, like, did it have to be USC? Like, she wasn't interested. She wanted to be a YouTuber. Did you have to like point her down there? Would it have been that bad for your daughter to be a YouTuber? And she's a very successful YouTuber. She had over 1 million subs. She's got all kinds of deals and stuff.
It's not even a wealth thing. Like, you know, families that mean like it's only important if you went to like a really like good school and got a crazy amount of degrees. Doesn't matter if you're making any money doing any of that. Just that you have it,
just
and
about
like that's where all the value is in. So there's people that just believe that, and if you believe that and you have that kind of money, then that's exactly the decision you make.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just a breed of person. It just sucks that they did it. They cheated. That's the bottom line here, right?
I know.
That sucks.
Oh my God. What do you guys think about that? Just, ugh.
All right, next. We're going to talk about director James Gunn. So you remember this guy? He was fired from Guardians of the Galaxy. He did the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies. very popular Marvel movies, right?
Yes.
Really well done. They're really cool. Everyone was super psyched Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And he was fired because it came out that he had basically made a lot of, like, said some stuff on social media, like, about 10 years ago that was really offensive. Basically, to me, looked like bad edgelord jokes.
Okay.
And, like, really nasty stuff where it's like, what the hell? Like, really, like, dude, you have to be pretty twisted to joke about that. And there's always couched in a joke, right?
Right.
So that came out, and he got fired straight up. Like, that's all it was.
Because of the cancel culture that we were talking about.
Yeah. We were just talking about cancel culture, and this is kind of like an example. A lot of people believe, not everybody, a lot of people believe this is an example of one of the more egregious outcomes of the cancel culture.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't accused by anybody of doing anything inappropriate, of actually carrying out any of the stuff that he said.
Yeah.
And people that were like personal advocates of his said he was like not like that at all. And like this basically was just like Twitter posts essentially from a long time ago. And they're like, well, you said that before 10 years ago, you're out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much exactly what happened.
Right.
And when everybody was at a particularly heightened time, I think. I think it would be harder for that to happen today. And this may be evidence of that because they're straight up reinstating the dude now.
And a lot of the cast came out and said
the
that
cast
he should
were
go
all
back
like,
in, right?
the cast all made a statement together. They went in and be like, this guy is not the guy that everybody says he is.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, of course. Some of the stuff he said was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it was like it looked like bad edgelord humor to me.
Did he
kind of the way it
apologize?
smelled. Yes, he apologized.
I don't remember. I think
and
I've
even
seen
took
this
he
all the way
took
back in my
full
head.
responsibility. This actually
I
here's
do
the
remember
apology here.
this.
He said, "My words of nearly a decade ago were at the time totally failed and unfortunate efforts to be provocative.
There you go.
I have regretted them for many years since, not just because they were stupid, not at all funny, wildly insensitive, and certainly not provocative like I had hoped, but also because they don't reflect the person I am today or have been for some time. Regardless of how much time has passed, I understand and accept the business decisions taken today. Even these many years later, I take full responsibility for the way I conducted myself then. All I can do now, beyond offering my sincere and heartfelt regret, is to be the best human being I can be, accepting, understanding, committed to equality, and far more thoughtful about my public statements and my obligations to our public discourse. To everyone inside my industry and beyond, I again offer my deepest apologies. Love to all." And that was it. He was like, okay, I got fired. I take it. This sucks because I'm not this person, but I get it. Fine, I'm leaving.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that was the last we ever heard of him. He didn't make any noise about this stuff.
Yeah.
That was it. He just kind of went like, well, I'm screwed. I screwed up, and that's that. And Disney basically went back and was like, well, based on like, they had like he met with somebody and talked to them. Basically, like, it turns out that those tweets being exposed were payback for him being a vocal critic of Trump. So they were kind of dug up to make him look like he wasn't in a position to be criticizing Trump. Like, this guy's criticizing Trump, and he said this crap, and everyone went like, cancel him. And that's exactly what happened. So everyone kind of like,
I didn't know that.
And apparently this decision to reinstate him, it was actually took place months ago. They just hadn't announced it yet because so pretty much almost right away, I think everyone was like, "Whoa, this was hasty."
Let's wait till this calms down.
Like, this was really hasty. Listen, we're gonna wait till this calms down, and then we'll come out later that you're still in on this. And like I said, the whole cast was like, "Yo, like this is a little much." It's this. You know, you can read this article. It's linked in the description. It's definitely very tilted and opinionated towards favoring the decision to bring him back in.
Sure, yeah, it looks like it. Yeah,
it's kind of like it's a report, but it's also kind of an opinion piece in a way too. So it's very tilted for that angle, but it is from taking a look at it from a little bit of a distance, it does seem hasty. It does seem like he was one of the guys that just said like, okay, I'm out, fine.
Yeah.
Didn't cause any trouble. And it seemed to have a genuine apology for it. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like in this culture right now, we're trying
10?
to. I understand that we're trying to decide what are actually like proper things to say, and that like even when you don't think that people are getting hurt, people are really getting hurt, and that kind of stuff is important. What you say, this whole like it's just words thing, I think is total crap.
Yeah.
Like words are very important.
Oh my
The way you say them in the
gosh.
context you say them are very important,
I
right?
totally agree.
But you have to have room here for people to grow and move on and change.
Yeah.
And it's like I always tell Lissy, like we were talking a little bit earlier ago about somebody who was saying some stuff. And I was just like, listen, you don't want to be there for the edgelord phase.
Oh,
you don't want to be there for it.
Yeah,
because
no.
I did it. I went through it, and if I was on Twitter
I
and I was
did
on
not.
YouTube when I was going through that phase, I would have been a freaking mess.
Yeah.
And I would have gotten in a lot of freaking trouble.
You think so?
Or at least maybe now I would get in trouble for something I did, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
It would be
yeah.
that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
like, I empathize with this kind of situation a bit because I remember being that dude.
Yeah, and wanting to get a rise out of people.
Yeah, and just wanting to say something provocative. Like, I'm going to say this thing that going to make people go, oh, even though you don't really mean it, it was really just for the reaction.
Yeah.
And I get that feeling. And it's as like, a grown adult, I'm like, well, that was stupid.
Yeah,
and I really could have gotten in a lot of trouble, and I could have really,
it could have cost you a job.
Yeah, and it only
like
matters when it ends up hurting somebody you care about. And that's when all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. Like,
yeah.
I didn't intend to actually hurt people.
Yeah.
I want to get a rise, but not hurt people.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize that that's how this kind of stuff actually works.
Yeah.
And that you don't get to decide what words mean and don't mean.
Right.
Like the whole words only mean something if you take offense to it. It's like, you don't get to make that decision.
Yeah.
It's not on you.
That's like, and I'm sorry that you're hurt at what I said.
Yeah, it's
like,
factually incorrect that's the way that words and conversation actually work, right?
Yeah. If your feelings are hurt, your feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
You can't say, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
You took it that way.
That's a silly stance, but and I know that now, of course, but I didn't always know that. Mm-hmm. Nobody always knows that.
Oh, for sure,
comes out knowing that, right? So it's like, it's life experience that teaches these kinds of things, and relationships, they teach you these kinds of things. Yeah. But this guy could presumably be someone who, like so many of us, like myself, went through that transformation.
You need room to grow.
But he's a public figure. So the only difference between me and him is that he is famous and now has people that would be mad at him for something he said 10 years ago.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I hope he's being sincere. And if he is being sincere, then I kind of feel like I'm glad that this has turned out this way. That's the direction I'm really
I agree with you. There's got to be room for growth, man. Yeah. And a lot of times you could tell in their actions since then, the kind of person that they've been since then. Yeah, you could kind of, at least that's how it is with me. I don't know if it's like that with you guys, where you could kind of look at the body of work since that time. Like look at the time in between.
Yeah.
And see the person that they've become and how they got from here to here. And then just kind of go, oh, okay. Sometimes
that makes sense.
Sometimes
that's
you can
reasonable.
tell it's the same person.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh.
Sometimes you're like, wait, you've been doing this the whole time. What are you going to tell me you changed?
Exactly.
And some people, it's like, wow, I've actually never heard anything about this. And nobody seems to be able to back that kind of thing up. And
right.
It doesn't add up. Sometimes it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, what do you guys think about it in the comments?
Yes, please do.
This is the hot button issue.
Write an essay.
I'm curious what you guys think.
Okay, it's time for the subreddit of the week. And something a little bit lighter, which is brushy.
Brushy.
Brushy, yes. I found it a couple weeks ago.
Is it animals getting brushed?
Yes, it is. Look at this. Look. Oh. He's getting
he's smirgling.
He is. Oh, he's getting his little, Isn't that so funny? That's called smirgling.
Smurgle.
When they go like this. They kind of go like that. Look at this. Isn't it so awesome to just brush your animal? Oh. Look at those ears. Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious.
That dude's happy. He's so happy.
Does anybody? I feel like Louis loves to be brushed.
Yes, he does.
I could just hold the brush up and he will come running. But you know what sucks though, because Louis' a long hair, is that I get about half of him done and then he's like, I'm out. When a cat's done.
Oh yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
And I can't brush him all the way out.
If you accidentally hit a knot, it's like, okay, we're done. It's over.
Yep, exactly. But that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Get the knots out.
I know. I gotta get the knots. Oh. Happy.
Yeah, this is actually really pleasant place to be. Watch it. This is the pleasant subreddit.
I know. Look at those cheeks. Look at those cheeks.
Yeah.
I know. What's this tiny brushies? But I feel bad for people whose animals don't like to be brushed.
Not everyone's animals like to be brushed.
I know.
Louis doesn't really love to be brushed. I mean,
he
really
likes
likes
his
it,
face.
But if you don't brush exactly what he wants brushed the whole time, he gets mad at you.
I know, yeah.
He just wants face, so you have to brush his belly for a second, and then he'll be like, okay, hold on, and he'll be like, okay, back to face again.
Yeah, and I gotta do his face.
Okay, now I'm gonna do your back. Back to face.
It's a turtle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You kind of learn your animal,
but
right?
Sometimes I just I gotta get those spaces. Oh, with a back scratcher. Oh, look at that leg going. Look at his little
puppy.
face. Yeah.
Little dude, how old do you think he is?
Oh my gosh, him little. He's having a great time though. Look at that.
Yeah, he is. He's like, yes.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
yes,
I
yes,
love
yes,
it.
yes, yes, yes.
Isn't this just the best subreddit? Every once in a while, you got to find a subreddit that just has animums. Oh. Very.
Oh, that is a happy kitty.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
He's gonna fall asleep.
He is.
He's going down.
Is he gonna, is it
he was like, yeah, he's
yeah, you know, when they just
clunk.
go like this. I love it. Anyway.
All right, and to wrap things up, there's now an official trailer for Aladdin. No more teasers. Here's the actual deal. Last we saw this, we had seen Will Smith as a blue dude. He got blued.
Yeah.
And it looked a little odd, but we didn't really get a good look at it. We didn't get a feel for what the character would be like.
Right.
So we were going off for some very preliminary gut feelings there. So I feel like now we're going to see a little bit more.
Yeah, and I heard that this was better.
Okay.
Like people saw the trailer, and a bunch of you tweeted it to us. Thank you. We stayed away from it until we were recording this.
Yes.
But from what I'm understanding, what you guys were telling me is that everybody's like, okay, like it's okay now. Like
Yeah.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
maybe just the trailer or the teaser kind of just didn't explain things as well as I
Yeah.
would have liked.
Maybe.
So let's see. Let's
find out.
Okay.
I know you guys have been waiting, and here's the very first trailer for Aladdin. Here's the very first trailer. Don't get dizzy, though. Don't get dizzy before we start the trailer. Don't get dizzy.
Ah! Is it the same songs? It better be.
You stumbled upon an opportunity. I can make you rich.
Oh,
Rich enough to impress a princess.
I feel like his voice needs to be deeper.
What would I have to do?
There's a cave of wonders. Bring me the lamp.
O great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes 3. I'm kidding. Watch this.
Watch out! You done wound me up. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my palace?
You look like a prince on the outside, but I didn't change anything on the inside. Showtime.
No, I'm in charge, okay? I say when it's time. Really? I thought a princess could go anywhere.
Not this princess.
Do you trust me?
Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry!
Don't you dare close your eyes.
Oh my god.
Hold your breath, it gets better. Let me share this whole new world with you.
Damn it!
All right, I think I'm on board. I think I'm on board.
I think anything
I think they
else
got
after
me.
that? No?
I think they got me. I think I'm on board.
Did they?
Yep.
Did they get you?
I think it did.
So wait, he's not the blue dude like the whole time.
Yes, he's not the blue dude the whole time.
I like that.
And I totally totally get the humor they're going for. You know?
they're going dry
Yeah, they're going pretty dry.
rather
and,
than like hokey, like vaudeville.
yeah,
type. Yeah.
they're going much drier, and I think that's totally the way to go. Because the whole thing is dry, like really, you know, the whole thing, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's like, I could just make you Prince, you know, like it's very
Yeah.
dry, and I am much more into that angle on this, you know. And it's gonna be musical. They're actually
You know
like
what?
having like the songs in there and stuff.
That's probably good that he's not trying to be Robin Williams.
Oh, it's 100%
It's a
good.
very good thing.
Very good.
And it looks like he's going to be Will Smith because Robin Williams was Robin Williams
Yeah.
in the cartoon.
Yes.
And let Will Smith be Will Smith.
Will Smith be Will Smith. So it
because
looks like they're gonna
a
do
lot
that.
of the time, Will Smith plays Will Smith. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
a whole lot of time.
You know what I mean?
But Will Smith is
And
an entertaining
Will
guy, so,
Smith
you know.
is a god in Philly.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's Philadelphia.
I
born and
know,
raised- Yeah.
crazy,
We all know
crazy,
about
and
that.
he reps Philly. Like we all love him and all that stuff around here. He's a big deal in Philly, but So, okay, so he kind of just wears the blue and chills around in this outfit. And then sometimes he's a blue dude. Jafar over here, I don't know if I'm quite on board with Jafar.
I'm undecided about Jafar. My initial reaction the first time I saw Jafar last time was that like, wow, I need a guy that looked like way creepier, maybe older, deeper voice.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing here, it shows at the beginning that maybe he's supposed to be kind of charming. Because if it's so crazy, like creepy, yes. If there's a crazy, creepy, like deep voice dude, you're gonna be like, well, you don't sound very trustworthy. I'm just gonna like walk over here. You're creep me out. Instead, this guy's kind of like, yo, I can really hook you up.
Yeah.
Make you rich, like you want. This is the kind of thing.
Maybe.
So I think it's more supposed to be how he's trying to get on the level with them and like, you know.
Yeah, and especially because
looked like more like a peer.
Jafar was very like evil, like villain with his long fingers and like
you couldn't
all
do
that and his deep voice.
Yeah.
That would have looked a little over the top.
Yeah.
So I could see why they dialed it back a little bit and just kind of made him another dude. You know what's kind of interesting? This is looking a little bit Bollywood to me, which is the wrong culture, is it not?
Is it?
I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. I don't want to be screaming cultural appropriation here.
But I mean, is it like, what would you change from like Bollywood to this?
Because Bollywood and Arabian are two different things.
Yes,
how
but
I understand, but I don't know. But I would understand why if they were going to do this. Look how bright the colors are, and like look how like.
Oh, is that why you think it's Bollywood?
Yeah,
it's
and
colors.
the outfits a little bit. I mean, I am not versed in Middle Eastern cultures and things like that.
Okay,
but I get that just like those Bollywood colors, like that you know what I'm talking about when I say the Bollywood palette.
Yeah.
You know, and like those big, bright, bold colors, you know, so I could see why they would do that kind of thing.
But they're also trying to make it look animated.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And they sing A Whole New World. I'm like, oh my God. But maybe they'll just do like they did in the other ones where they picked like a couple of songs.
Yeah.
And then
they can't do
just
them all.
threw them in. No. But
they did do Friend Like Me. That's in there.
Right, and A Whole New World.
Yeah.
That's really all you need.
That is all you need.
You know,
in Aladdin, that's all you need.
One jump.
Yeah, but you can have that just be the soundtrack. You can have that be the score.
Yeah,
that's everything.
True.
Yeah. You know, of course you got to be like walking around eating this apple. You know, like
with his bread and all that. Yeah, I know exactly what you eat now.
Like you can't like I don't know if you could have
right.
gotten away with that in this. You know. Like,
I'm on board too.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I think I want to see it.
Okay, I wish in the teaser that they showed Will Smith looking normal and not in the blue.
It was a teaser.
CGI. Yeah, it was.
He's supposed to look like a genie.
He looks cool when he came out of the lamp, though.
Yeah.
With the big, what do you call it? But this whole part looks really cool. Look at that. That's awesome. They had is he going to rap it? Is he going to rap Friend Like Me?
Oh, he's Will Smith.
Look, here's a bunch of them. Oh, there's a bunch of genies
he's
back
Fresh
here.
Prince.
They're all back here. Oh my God. I kind of like it. I think it's cool.
They're all going to do the Men in Black dance.
Just bounce with me. Just bounce with me. Oh my gosh.
Come on,
my mom loved that
take a walk
song.
with me. Take a walk.
Oh my God. Did my mom love that song? Oh my God.
Make your neck work.
Yeah, make your neck work. Now freeze.
Now freeze.
She
wow,
did.
Yeah.
She
we grew up in the
loved
90s.
She loved it.
That's in there.
Yay.
That's in there, never coming out.
No.
All right, guys, and lastly, before we leave, we do want to address this is the elephant in the room right now, which is that we did not watch the Avengers Endgame trailer. And it's the same reason we didn't watch the teasers before and everything. It was because we have not seen the previous Avengers movies, and we very much plan to watch them.
Yes.
So I understand that if we watch this trailer, it'll be extremely spoiler heavy.
Yeah.
For the things that happened in the previous
movies.
And
we would have no context.
We would have no context, so
we missed
we wouldn't get much out of watching it, and we would also spoil ourselves from being able to watch them in the way we would like to in the future. So
sure.
We're not going to watch that trailer. Yes. Sorry. All right, guys, that freaking took forever.
Wowee.
That was an episode of BS on the Internet.
Yes.
If you want to learn anything more about what we talked about, links are in the description.
Yes, please.
If you like this video, please support us on Patreon. Click like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, bye.
Bye.